Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, guys. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining me on my channel. Welcome back. If you're new, my name is Kadzo. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. So today's video is going to be all about books.
Oh na na, just be careful na na. Love ain't simple na na. Promise me no promises. Oh na na, just be careful.
So I know in this day and age, some people may feel that books are not that interesting, or there's movies, there's audiobooks, there's all these different things that you can do alternatively to reading. But personally, I've always been a books person. I love books. I love buying hard books. I love hardcovers. I love the print on different books. I love the smell of the pages. I love different sizes of the print. I just like books. So I'm going to talk about books. So if you're not interested in that, probably go watch my other videos. I'm sure you're going to enjoy them. The books that I have here, I have more in my little library up here, but these are books that I've had for ages and I have not read any of them from cover to cover. And this is one of my, like, should I say resolutions, is that I'm only going to buy books that I actually and genuinely want to read. So sometimes, you know, you're influenced through different channels and different people, and you see someone else reading this book and you feel like, oh, maybe I should read that book, but actually you're not really interested in that. So for me, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm only buying books that I want to read. So these books have accumulated over a period of 2 months. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, these are 7 books, and I've bought them over the course of December and January. So personally, I find the books that I want to read through Pinterest. Pinterest is like my one-stop shop for everything. And then recommendations from YouTube. So YouTubers that I watch and I really admire and love, the books that they read, I kind of also have an affinity towards wanting to read them. So I don't always buy every book that a YouTuber recommends, but there's certain books that I'm like, oh, that looks interesting, I actually really want to read that. So a lot of these books are kind of from Pinterest and from influencers that I watch or I subscribe to. Most of them, or rather, actually, yeah, most of these books are from Naivas, because I don't know any bookshop in Mombasa that has, like, I don't know, the genres that I'm looking for. A lot of these books are self-help, self-development, self-improvement, and that's what I'm currently focused on. 2020 is like my year to just be the best that I can be. And also, can we just appreciate the fact that I'm actually reading books again, guys? Like, seriously, I haven't read a book from cover to cover, I don't know since when, and it's concerning, guys. It's been a while. I didn't even read my set books in high school. Let me just be honest. I did not read any set book from cover to cover. I didn't do that. So I can't relate to all of you people who, you know, you did the work and you did the reading and all that. I don't even know how I got by, to be honest. But I remember in high school, instead of reading set books, I was reading novels. And yeah, my priorities were all over the place. Anyways, so the first book that I'm going to talk about is Girl Boss. And you guys, I've been shouting about this book on Instagram. Okay, I haven't been shouting, but I've been talking about this book on Instagram a lot, and I've read it. And this is, I would say this is the first book that I've read out of this bunch, and I've finished it. So this is my book for 2019, I would say, because I read this beginning of December, and then I finished it like early January. And honestly, it is such an inspiring and just motivational and informative book. What I want to talk about the book, first of all, is the fact that she really talks about the nitty-gritties of starting a business, and that is the work that goes into it. A lot of people don't talk about how difficult and how time consuming and how like you need to really be attentive to all of the details. When you put in the work, it really goes a long way to, you know, adding to your success, and she really talks about that in this book. Another thing I want to talk about is one of the most impactful chapters in this book is chapter 8, which talks about it's called on hiring, staying employed, and firing. So this particular chapter is great for people who are in 9 to 5s like me, but you still, you know, have that, you know, like idea in your mind that you want to start something that's for you and you want to pursue something on the side or whatever. I should say that the way she talks about things is not just in terms of business, it's not just in terms of if you have a 9 to 5 job, it's not just in terms of in this career setting, but really she looks at things from a life perspective, and she gives lessons that you can apply in every aspect of your life, not just in your work, but also in your relationships, in your, you know, in your journey to your self-development. Let me tell you guys, I got emotional when I was finishing this book, and I don't really know why, but you know, like when you have a source of, I don't know if I should say a well of inspiration or motivation, and every time you just feel low, you just open up the book and you read it and you feel like, yeah, I got this. And this book has been that for me, and I carry this book everywhere I go because it's just become such a fuel, a mode of fuel for me. It's just an awesome book, guys, and I definitely recommend it. So the next book that is actually my current read is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Schmuck. So this book is by Mark Manson, and ever since I saw this book actually on a YouTube and Kylie Nicholson's channel, and I was like, oh my god, that looks so interesting. The title of this book is quite capturing, to be honest. But also I wanted to read this book because, like I said before, I have always been such an avid people pleaser, and it's almost like it's wired in me, and now being an adult I kind of have to unlearn it and unwire that and just teach myself how to really not care so much about the things that people do or the things that people say, and understand that I can only control my emotions and I can't control what other people do. I can't control the actions of other people. And so I'm reading this book, and that's kind of my anticipation for it, and what I expect from it is just kind of an insightful take of how to not care so much about, honestly, everyone else. And so that's why I really want to read this book. So I'm excited. I'll tell you guys how it goes, inshallah, when I'm done with it. The next book is The Alchemist, and The Alchemist, obviously by Paulo Coelho. I know that a lot of you guys know about this book. I've read this book before, and honestly it's just one of those books that you read and you reread and you reread, and every time you read it you get something different from it. And I feel like I read this book, but it wasn't my copy, it was my brother's, so I really felt like it was time for me to get my own copy, and so that's what I did. Okay, the light keeps changing. Let me do that. I think that's better. Really, guys. So yeah, I read this book, and I know a lot of people have also recommended it, and I personally also recommend it. So yeah, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. The next book I have is the second book. I think this is the second book by Mark Manson, and this one is called Everything is Schmuck. It's a book about hope, and this is a book that's basically for people who feel like, it's just like, what is the point? Everything is just all messed up, and there's just nothing to look forward to. But I honestly just bought this book because it was a sequel to this, and it's by Mark Manson, so I felt like this is definitely going to be a good read, so that's why I bought this book. I'm looking forward to reading it. The next book is by Rachel Hollis, and it's called Girl Stop Apologizing, a shame-free plan for embracing and achieving your goals. Honestly, I follow her on Instagram, and she is just like a ball of positive energy. I just love her, to be honest. And I don't follow, but then I'm very specific about who I follow, because it really, like, social media tends to affect me a lot sometimes, and I'm trying to like reduce that and control how much intake of social media I have. So I've seen this book on Pinterest. Actually, I saw the one Girl Wash Your Face, and I was like, I really have to get that book, but they didn't have that in Nivas, and they had this one, and I was like, you know what, even better. The reason I got this book is because I've always been someone who just over apologizes, and just in tandem with people pleasing. Like I apologize for the things that I want, and I apologize for the things that I like, and I apologize even in situations when I shouldn't apologize. And I'm just so sick and tired of it, because why should I have to apologize when there's nothing wrong that I've done, you know? The next book that I have is called I'm Too Pretty to Be Broke, and this is by I'm Too Pretty to Be Broke and Other Lies You've Been Telling Yourself by Joanne Thatia. Is it Thatia? I think so. So this book, this is actually by a Kenyan author, and I'm so proud and so excited. I was watching Caroline Motoko's channel, and she was talking about this book, and I was like, yo, this is something I definitely want to read. For people who don't know, like in the Kenyan scene, and I know a lot of my viewers have been to uni or are in uni or are like youngin', so you guys know what's going on the ground. You know about, you know, this sponsor situation and the social life business and the industry, and you know, this kind of pressure on young women and even young men to be on a certain level or on a certain caliber or like standard. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like also for us as young people, we shouldn't commend, you know, this sponsor behavior. And I don't know, this is just my opinion, but yeah, this book, I really want to read it. I really want to just kind of like decipher and just get different perspectives and just hear what she has to say, basically. And I honestly, all these books that I've shared with you guys, I don't know if that's what's in the book. I'm just speaking from a place of like perspective and why I decided to buy the book and why I'm interested in reading the book. Okay, so the last book I have is called Girl Online, and this is by Zoe Sugg. And Zoe, or Zoella, as some of you may know her, she was literally like one of the biggest YouTubers when YouTube was like becoming this big thing where people could make money from. And I got into YouTube when I was, I think, my first year of uni. That was 2013. Let me fix the lighting. So yeah, in 2013, and she was one of the biggest people on YouTube, and she's from the UK. And I've always been so intrigued as to what YouTubers write when they write books. Like, I'm always like, I know people say like there's a book in everyone, but I'm always so curious, like, okay, this person was a YouTuber and they just started making YouTube, like you know, videos online and all that, and suddenly they have a book and they want us to buy this book, and I'm like, what does this book have to say, and what does this person have to say through this book? And I don't know, it's just like a curiosity thing. So I know there's a lot of controversy surrounding Zoella at the moment. I don't know why. I stopped following her a long time ago, but when I saw this book, I was like, yeah, I want to read this. I want to read a YouTuber's book. So I bought the book. So yeah, this book, The Alchemist, and Everything is Schmucked. These three books I bought from a vendor in Nairobi. So I'm pretty sure like all these other books honestly you could also get from your local vendors or Naivas or any store that basically sells books. I think you could also get from there. I want all of you guys and girls, dudes and dudettes, I want you guys to go read books, open your mind, improve your intellect. I don't know, just be better than you were yesterday. And I feel like books have a way of doing that. So if you're an audio fan, definitely look into that. Personally, I'm not. If I can get the hardcover, I'd rather get that. If you have any recommendations for books that you think I'd be interested in, or podcasts that you think I'd be interested in, and apps for podcasts that you think I'd be interested in, definitely leave them in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys are also bookish. What? Hey, today. I hope you guys are also book fans, I should say that, and you enjoyed this video and you will look into the books that I recommended. I hope you guys are enjoying wherever you are, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.